Hello everybody, I want to show you today how to get grease off of an engine or frame or whatever you're working on. I got this can of engine degreaser. I've used it before on this truck, it works really good. I used it on the frame earlier so I could paint it. It gets all the grease and stuff off so the paint will stick better. If you look here, I'm just pulled this engine out to replace it, and I've got a lot of grease here on the oil on the where the motor sets here, and I want to paint all this. So before I can do that, I need to spray this stuff on it to get all the oil off, and I also need to get the rust off too, but I'm going to do this first. And looking at the instructions on it, you just spray it on there and let it sit for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then take a water hose and rinse it off. And you might have to do it 2 or 3 times, but I'm just going to soak all this down and then just let it sit and then spray it off with the water hose, and it should come out pretty clean. Alright, this is to spray on it thoroughly and let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes so it's just shake good. I can't remember how much this stuff costs, but anyway. This one just sprays almost like water, and they also make one that sprays like in a foam. So I mean, that's kind of personal preference. I just got this one that sprays like a mist or like more like water, just because I used it before. I know it works good. We'll spray it down here and let it sit for a little bit. It's mostly just this. Let me get this stuff out of the way. Mostly just the. I think you call it a K member, I'm not sure, but right here where the engine cradle is, I'm gonna spray all this. Underneath of it should be okay because I painted the front axle and the frame and all, so I'm just gonna get the top part where the motor's covering it up. Here we go. Just spraying it very liberally. You cover it all, especially right here. This is the troublesome spot. It was just spray it good here. It'll soak all down. Doesn't really have a lot here. I'm gonna spray it here anyway. I want to say last time I did this, I did a couple of coats. So I'm gonna, yeah, that's. And then we'll just let it sit here for a little bit. I probably feels like about half the can left, so I might have one more shot at doing it. Do a second coat. And before I put this engine back in, I'll probably that motor. I'll probably spray that motor down too. But just for right now, for what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do this part. So we'll come back in about 10 to 15 and spray it off and see how it looks. Alright, we're back. It's been about 15 minutes. I took my coat off. Alright, we're going to just spray this down. Hopefully we don't make too much of a mess. Just like you did spraying it on, just spray it off. It's really good. Since I'm under this carport, I need to spray this off too. So it's not just sitting here. This is oil that's been collecting on here since 1989. Never been cleaned, so I might have to end up doing, I'm sure I'm going to end up doing 2 coats. Cut the pressure down so I can get this. I know I can spray some on here. This is mostly rust right here, but I just want to get all that stuff off of it. Alright, that should do it. Let's take a look and see what we got. Oh yeah, I can already see that's just rust right there. So I can, scrape that off with a wire brush and put my paint on it. Hopefully it'll look like that right there, what I did. That in case you didn't see the other videos, I've got some videos on that where I painted the frame on this truck. It's a chassis saver. Looks like I have to do a little more right there in the middle where it was really bad, but I did see it coming off. So I'm gonna take the rest of that can and just spray this part again, probably just the worst of it, and then let it sit another 15 minutes and spray it off again. Alright, I did one more coat. Let it sit about 10-15 minutes and sprayed it back off. Looks a lot better now. I may have to do a little bit more there at the bottom. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I'll wait for it to dry. Get out here and do a little more sanding, knock some of that loose rust off, and if I have to, I'll spray some more on it. I gotta get some more of that spray anyway to hit this motor to get the grease and stuff, the oil off of this engine. But that's good for this stuff here. But yeah, it's pretty easy. I recommend that stuff. It's a pretty good product. So thank you for watching.